Hello, everybody. Okay, so hopefully you can see my slides here. So my name is Meredith East-Powell, and I'm a clinical nutritionist at Pair Exercise Physiology and Physiotherapy. And today I'm going to be talking to you about nutrition for endometriosis. So diet for endometriosis is really all about reducing inflammation. So we know that endometriosis is an inflammatory condition. So really one of the core aims is to reduce inflammation, and we'll get into some of the ways that we can do that. So another aim with diet or nutrition for supporting endometriosis is to stabilize blood sugar. So we know that insulin can stimulate endometrium growth, and it can also alter the balance of other hormones. For instance, it can increase estrogen. So it's something we definitely don't want, because we know that endometriosis is an estrogen-dependent condition. So next up, we want to improve gut health. And so I've just put in brackets there, endobelly. We know that endobelly is a bit of a ubiquitous term. It's very commonly used, and it's really to just describe that bloating and abdominal discomfort that seems to be very common with endometriosis. So we want to support detoxification, just make sure that you're eliminating waste efficiently. So while we're on this topic of gut health, IBS or irritable bowel syndrome is really common in endometriosis, and we really need to address food intolerances or any food allergies to make sure that we're reducing inflammation that way as well. So a whole foods diet is really, no matter what type of diet you're eating, your diet doesn't have to have a name, but if you do have a diet that has a name, at the core of that diet, we really want it to be a whole foods diet. So lots of unprocessed foods and rich in anti-inflammatory foods like whole foods, fruits and veggies, etc. So my next point here is to reduce stress. This is really important because eating slowly and mindfully and in a relaxed state is really going to do wonders for your gut health. So digestion does start in the mouth. So just trying to eat in a state where you're nice and relaxed will be really beneficial. So lastly here, no one size fits all when it comes to diet. So it's really, really important to tailor to the individual. So there's not one endometriosis diet. It really needs to be tailored to your individual needs. In saying that, there are a few overarching strategies that we can take. And the first one is to aim for at least 5 serves of veggies per day. And if you can tolerate them, cruciferous veggies are a great one to consume. So broccoli and cabbage, those sorts of veggies can be really beneficial. So we want to fill up half your plate with veggies. This is a good rule of thumb. And this is at lunch and dinner, and this will help you get to that 5 serves of veggies daily. 2 serves of fruit per day is another good thing to include, and making sure you're having the whole fruit rather than juice, because we really want the benefits of the fibre from the fruit. So 3 serves of fish or shellfish per week. So giving you some examples there, sardines, anchovies, salmon, tuna, oysters are all nice examples. Of course, if you're vegan, you won't be having fish or shellfish, but that's okay. A good option for you could be to supplement with a vegan omega-3 fatty acid supplement. And we want to choose organic if possible, and this will just help to reduce the burden of chemicals and pesticides in the body. So next up is, in terms of what to include, is to have at least 2 litres or 8 glasses of filtered water daily. Again, this is going to really just help with the elimination of waste that we don't need, helping with that detoxification. So including whole grains, nuts and seeds, and adequate fibre. So if you're eating a whole foods diet rich in fruit and veggies, then you're going to be getting enough fibre in your diet. So I've listed some spices here which are really beneficial. So they're rich in in antioxidants and chemicals that can, or constituents that can be anti-inflammatory, and yeah, be really beneficial in the body. And same with herbal tea, they can be really nice options as well. And I do suggest with your oil to choose olive oil, and avocado oil is another good one for high temperature cooking. So my next slide is on the Mediterranean diet. So there is no one diet for endometriosis. That is definitely true, but the Mediterranean diet is a really nice example of a diet, of an anti-inflammatory diet. So I just thought I'd take you through the pyramid just to give you a little bit of inspiration. So at the base of the pyramid, you can see it's really about being physically active and enjoying meals with other people. And the main part of the pyramid is really about a plant-based diet. So lots of fruits, veggies, whole grains, olive oil is a big feature as well in the med diet. And as we move further up, we eat less and less of these certain things as we move up. So moderate amounts of fish and seafood, about 3 times a week, then less so poultry, eggs and dairy. And then right at the top of the pyramid, we eat very little amounts of meat and sweets, so red meat and sweets. So drinking water, plenty of water. And look, this says wine in moderation, but I think that you really need to see how you go in terms of how you tolerate alcohol. But I do think it's best to avoid because alcohol really can be quite inflammatory. So yeah, it might be best to really limit that or avoid it. And while we're on the subject of limiting or avoiding certain foods, I don't think anything in this list is really going to surprise you, but let's go through it. Number 1 is to really avoid sugary foods, confectionery, muffins, donuts, pastries, and also processed foods, and in particular processed meat, so salami and bacon. They're not going to be very good for your body either. So limiting red meat intake, so 1 to 2 a week is okay. And it really does matter how you cook your red meat as well. So you want to cook it low and slow, ideally, rather than quickly over an open flame. Next up, we've got alcohol. So just coming back to this topic. So alcohol, there is a link between alcohol and inflammatory diseases. And it also raises estrogen. So when you drink alcohol in moderate amounts, it can affect your estrogen levels. So next we really want to limit or avoid trans fats. So they're just generally found in processed foods like margarine and pastries and things like that. And limiting as well saturated fat. So that is predominantly found in meat. And now next up is just to consider gluten or wheat. So this is really quite a common issue that I see in clinic, that gluten really can contribute to gut issues, and some small studies have found that a gluten-free diet has improved symptoms. But if you are confused or you're feeling a little bit unsure whether it's gluten or whether it's wheat, or you do have any food intolerances, it really is a good idea to talk to a health professional and get some guidance around that. So just on supplements or specific nutrients, there are lots out there that can help you, but they're really there to optimize treatment. They're not a substitute for diet. They're like the icing on the cake. So fatty acids, which come in forms of fish oil or algae oil, we want a combination of EPA and DHA in those, and they are anti-inflammatory, so very beneficial for endo. And PEA is another type of fatty acid, which is anti-inflammatory. So magnesium, I will commonly prescribe this one. It's really is suitable for many, many people, most people, in fact. It helps to relax the nervous system. It has lots and lots of functions in the body. It's also anti-angiogenic, so it just means that, well, there's some research to show that it helps to inhibit the growth of lesions. And N-acetylcysteine is next, and it's often called NAC. So that's an antioxidant, and also some small studies have shown that it's been beneficial, helped to reduce lesion size. So next up, we've got vitamin D. This is really important. There's a link between low vitamin D and inflammatory conditions or autoimmune conditions. So we really want to monitor that. We don't want it too much vitamin D, but we definitely don't want it to be low. And pre and probiotics, which can really help with gut health and with those symptoms. So prebiotics are like fuel for your gut microbiome, found widely in fruits and veggies, but also you can take as a supplement, a therapeutic supplement. And probiotics are specific strains of bacteria which have been studied to help with specific conditions or symptoms. And one that comes to mind is Lactobacillus plantarum, which has been researched for IBS and really helpful for that bloating and abdominal discomfort. So there are many more supplements that can be prescribed. Zinc, B vitamins, curcumin are just some of the other supplements that I will commonly prescribe and will often give to people in a whole combination of ingredients. So it might contain magnesium, zinc, B vitamins, a whole range of things to take. Okay, that is it from me. And I hope you have found this presentation beneficial. And thanks for joining me. Bye for now.